If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. Of all things, I liked books best. Antisocial behavior is a trait of intelligence in a world full of conformists. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. I could only achieve success in my life through self-discipline, and I applied it until my wish and my will became one. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. Our entire biological system, the brain, and the earth itself work on the same frequencies. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. We all make mistakes, and it is better to make them before we begin. Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities and can drive the world's machinery without the need of coal, oil, gas, or any other of the common fuels. I am even grateful to Einstein and others, because through their erroneous theories, they lead mankind away from that dangerous path I followed. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. My brain is only a receiver in the universe. No free energy device will ever be allowed to reach the market. Throughout the infinite, the forces are in a perfect balance, and hence the energy of a single thought may determine the motion of a universe. Inventors don't have time for married life. The idea came like a flash of lightning, and in an instant the truth was revealed. It's not the love you make, it's the love you give. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine. I am trying to awake the energy contained in the air. These are the main sources of energy. What is considered as empty space is just a manifestation of matter that is not awakened. I have always been ahead of my time. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Love, I recognize the emotion for what it is, an irrational, self-destructive impulse, which is disguised as joy. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. When wireless is fully applied, the Earth will be converted into a huge brain, capable of response in every one of its parts. Great moments are born great opportunity. The Buddhist expresses it in one way, the Christian in another, but both say the same: we are all one. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. Each day we go to our work in the hope of discovering. Perhaps I failed, but I did my best. These masters of mine may do the rest. The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind. The opinion of the world does not affect me. I have placed as the real values in my life what follows when I am dead. There is no energy in matter other than that received from the environment. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. My belief is firm in a law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. In a crystal, we have clear evidence of the existence of a formative life principle, and though we cannot understand the life of a crystal, it is nonetheless a living being. Originality thrives in seclusion free of outside influences. Though free to think and act, we are held together, like the stars in the firmament, with ties inseparable. These ties cannot be seen, but we can feel them. Of all the frictional resistances, the one that most retards human movement is ignorance. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. Man, like the universe, is a machine. Nothing enters our minds or determines our actions which is not directly or indirectly a response to stimuli beating upon our sense organs from without. Of all things, I liked books best. My father had a large library, and whenever I could manage, I tried to satisfy my passion for reading. There is no subject more captivating, more worthy of study than nature. To understand this great mechanism, to discover the forces which are active and the laws which govern them, is the highest aim of the intellect of man. In the 21st century, the robot will take the place which slave labor occupied in ancient civilization. All matter comes from a primary substance, the luminiferous ether. The beauty and the scent of roses can be used as a medicine and the sun rays as a food. Crystals are living beings at the beginning of creation. To know each other, we must reach beyond the sphere of our sense perceptions. Money does not represent such a value as men have placed upon it. All my money has been invested into experiments with which I have made new discoveries, enabling mankind to have a little easier life. We crave for new sensations, but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. My mother understood human nature better and never chided. She knew that a man cannot be saved from his own foolishness or vice by someone else's efforts or protests, but only by the use of his own will. Nature may reach the same result in many ways. Even matter called inorganic, believed to be dead, responds to irritants and gives unmistakable evidence of a living principle within. Everything that exists, organic or inorganic, animated or inert, is susceptible to stimulus from the outside. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. My wireless transmitter does not use Hertzian waves, which are a grievous myth, but sound waves in the ether. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7-league boots. It is a simple feat of scientific electrical engineering, only expensive blind, faint-hearted, doubting world. Is nature a giant cat? If so, who strokes its back? It is a mere question of time when men will succeed in attaching their machinery to the very wheelwork of nature. Every effort under compulsion demands a sacrifice of energy. I never paid such a price. So we find that the 3 possible solutions of the great problem of increasing human energy are answered by the 3 words: food, peace, work. The entire earth will be converted into a huge brain. So astounding are the facts in this connection that it would seem as though the Creator himself had electrically designed this planet. The future will show whether my foresight is as accurate now as it has proved heretofore. Ere many generations pass, our machinery will be driven by a power obtainable at any point of the universe. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. My ear barely caught signals coming in regular succession, which could not have been produced on Earth. We should begin at the very root from which we spring. We should effect a radical reform in the character of the food. I am equally proud of my Serbian origin and my Croatian fatherland. A century from now, it will no more occur to a normal person to mate with a person eugenically unfit than to marry a habitual criminal. All peoples everywhere should have free energy sources. The individual is ephemeral. Races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Our senses enable us to perceive only a minute portion of the outside world. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. It will soon be possible to transmit wireless messages around the world so simply that any individual can carry and operate his own apparatus. Sometimes, I feel that by not marrying, I made too great a sacrifice to my work. I have harnessed the cosmic rays and caused them to operate a motive device. To stop war by the perfection of engines of destruction alone might consume centuries and centuries. Other means must be employed to hasten the end.